guys, Cannon Work here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the Toronto Raptors versus the San Antonio Spurs. It's going to be the very first part. In other words, first quarter and second quarter. And about each quarter is about 6 minutes long or 5 minutes. I can't be too sure about that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy for now. There's going to be just full gameplay, and I'm not going to be talking. So I also play on the hardest difficulty, known as Hall of Fame, on NBA 2K16 during this gameplay, so just keep that in mind. And mention that I play as the San Antonio Spurs.
There is no basketball, there is no NBA, the game has been canceled. Ha ha! Happy April Fool's Day, baby! This is the NBA, and we've got a great one in store. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Spurs in an interconference battle here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Last time they came together was in Toronto, where they fell to the Raptors.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about, and when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with the road win.
So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors starting lineup. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Scola, and it's Powell in at the small forward. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big three, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big three recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big three, but to think of himself as the big one.
And the wide open shot from Green will not go. This is off the front iron. We play just over a minute here in the first. The drive by Lowry. Pass to Valanciunas. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. The shot by Powell, no good. Here's San Antonio, 4-point game.
And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach great. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
And so here's Toronto after the basket by San Antonio. Screen by Scola. This one for three. No what? Great D that time from Leonard. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, I briefly spoke with Dwayne Casey. We talked about how they can best press their advantages in this game, and he told me that he expects their shot blocking to play an important role. He said, listen, obviously we want to keep them on the perimeter as much as possible, but with our length and timing, we can also bottle them up inside. And Kevin, he's hoping that'll help them secure their second win in this season series.
Thank you very much, Doris. So it's mainly about defense for them early on.
And it won't just be early. I mean, it'll be about D all game long.
Yeah, and he made that point very clearly and emphatically to Doris and his players. I think we're going to see an intense defensive performance today.
Now here's Parker, following the miss by Luis Scola. Takes it from 10. Good work defensively by Lowry. Raptors have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Scola kicks to Powell. To the paint. Here's Valanciunas. No good.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
Aldridge dishes to Parker. Aldridge, the pass to Leonard. Clock at 6. Again, Leonard missing.
And although not a block officially, it might as well have been his ability to react and alter the shot.
Greg, I don't think there was any doubt about it. His defense threw him off on that shot.
As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Raptors also changing it up. Biyombo is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Joseph in for Powell. And Mills kicks to Diaw. Martin wide open. He fires, and that misses. That would have put him up. Raptors with the lead. Pass to Joseph. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
Now, here's Diaw. 9 points last game out. To end the drought, Toronto grabs the miss. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
Yeah, more than anything else, I think three-point shooting was the key, the catalyst, if you will, in that game.
Yeah, it's really a nice weapon to have because it makes things easier for you in other parts of your offense when you can knock down the three.
From past the arc. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Martin against DeRozan. Floats one. And Kevin Martin pulls it down. Diaw with a wide open look. And that's not going to go. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Raptors lead by 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in the same direction.
You know, we got a group of guys who came in and bought into the offensive system, the defensive system, and it just clicked. And we got a bunch of guys in here who only want to see each other be successful, and it's rare in this league to have a team like that.
The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
You know, you could argue it both ways, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. I mean, teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and so have tight-knit groups who were really close. So there's really no magic formula. I think there's a little bit of art to go with the science in that.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Toronto.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. DeRozan at the 2 with Ross playing the 3. Patrick Patterson is out there with Bismack Biyombo. And it's Joseph in at the point.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
And you know, guys, Manu Ginobili's relationship with Greg Popovich has been really interesting over the years. In the beginning, Pop obviously had a rigid system. Ginobili played with a lot more freestyle and freewheeling nature. The two clashed heavily early on, as one might expect.
Here's Powell after the basket by San Antonio. Joseph with the ball. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game.
That's a layup for him. He's just too open.
Yeah, use the timeout.
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Boris Diaw. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Toronto. San Antonio's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Moment here now for an injury report.
Kevin, I was able to catch up with the Raptors' head athletic trainer. He said he's having back spasms and it's causing him a lot of pain. You couldn't pick a worse time for an injury of any kind as the season enters its very last stretch. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for the update. We appreciate it, and we really hope for the best as always.
And he's a tough guy. My guess is he'll be back before we know it, and better than ever.
Greg, I sure hope you're right. I mean, there are just so many uncertainties when it comes to dealing with injuries, though. Let's hope for the best.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Joseph. He's putting up about 8 points a game, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, great hustle. Does all the little things. Just a good complimentary guy to have on your team.
He misses the free throw. And he sinks the second. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
Patterson, that's good.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
The Spurs have gotten 4 of their first 5 shots to fall in the second quarter. Outstanding shooting. In the corner, it's Ginobili. Back to West. And he goes in for the dunk.
Good. Just like soup. A little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out. And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Shot by Joseph, no good. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring is down, his playmaking is up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart, he's tough, he's all about team, and, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
Ross with a wide open look. Good on the triple. Ross has got 6 points.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Martin from outside, and again it's San Antonio with a 3.
That's the second long-range bomb in the quarter after a slow first period. He is on a roll.
Joseph dishes to Valanciunas, and another shot. He lays it in. Valanciunas has got it all tied up now for the Raptors. Spurs have gotten nearly everything to fall for them here in the second quarter. They're a great 7 of 8 from the floor. Martin with the bucket.
And the lead goes right back. What a seesaw affair we've got going on.
This game's right there for the taking, but neither team can quite grab hold of it. Like a slippery bar of soap there. Somebody's got to take charge here.
And the Spurs pushing it up now. Ginobili leading the charge, and that one's good. And that's 15 points for Martin.
They're working in closer to the bucket here in the second.
Well, the threes weren't falling early, and sometimes seeing a few easier ones go in can renew that confidence.
Patterson, the screen. And Joseph kicks to Patterson. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
What are they thinking, leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
West passes to Mills. The shot's good on the assist by West. Mills has got his first 2 points of the night.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Patterson dishes to Valanciunas. Poked away.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Ginobili against Patterson. Ginobili kicks it to West. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. It's the Spurs. They're up by 4.